Hey, what's up? Welcome back to another video. And yeah, I've been gone a long time. If you've been online in the past year, you've probably felt like it's been an acronym avalanche. Yeah, it feels like a linguistic wall designed to make you feel behind. And over the past year, I've taken a step back to uncover what is AI. This video is an introduction to AI and part of a series where I'll be guiding you through the basics of AI, getting to use some tools and eventually creating projects using AI. So without further ado, let's go ahead and dive in. The definition of AI is any machine mimicking human cognition. So to help us understand at a more generalized level the hierarchy, I often like to use the Russian doll analogy. AI sitting at the top as the biggest doll. Below that we have the middle doll, which is machine learning. This is also one of the other terms that's quite widely used, and you may have heard of it yourself. Machine learning is a type of AI, it's a subset, and this is where we stop explicitly telling the machine rules. For example, if X, do Y, and we let the machine start figuring out these rules for itself. Below this we have the inner doll, or deep learning. This is the game changer level. This level uses multi-layered neural networks inspired by the human brain to find complex patterns, computing, hardcore maths. And then finally, below this, we have the center, the smallest of the dolls. This is where generative AI and LLMs sit, a specific powerful application of deep learning that is driving the current boom. Okay, so we have the hierarchy, but how do these systems actually learn? It essentially comes down to three specific teaching styles. But how do I know which one to use? The difference usually depends on whether you know your end result or not. So whether you have the answer and you know the value that you're expecting. Let's look at the first learning method, supervised learning. This is the dominant paradigm. We give the model data that has both the features, which are the inputs, and labels, the correct answers. Think of predicting house prices. The features would be the square footage, the number of rooms, and the postcode. The label, which is the answer key, is the house price. The model studies these pairs until it comes across a new house with no price tag and can predict exactly what it's worth. For our output value, we're looking to get a specific numerical value. If we were just sorting emails into spam or not spam, then this would be classification. But in both cases, the machine has an answer key to study. Now, let's move on to the second learning technique, unsupervised learning. Here, we hide the labels, we give the model raw data and say, go figure it out. The goal here isn't prediction, it's discovery. Let's imagine dumping a load of customer purchase history logs into the model. We don't tell it who the customers are. The AI analyzes the data and finds hidden structures or links between the data, like realizing that people who buy pens at 5 p.m. are also more likely to buy beer. It groups these invisible segments together. This is called clustering. What's clever about this teaching style is that the machine finds nuanced patterns that humans might miss because it isn't biased by what we think the categories should be. It looks at the data unsupervised. Now let's move on to the final teaching style, which is reinforcement learning. Now of the three teaching styles, this is probably the one that is most different. There is no data set to study. Instead, we have an agent in an environment looking to maximize a reward. For this example, we could use Google's DeepMind models teaching themselves to play the game Go. The AI plays millions of games against itself, and every time it wins, it gets a reward. And if it loses, a penalty. Now, the misconception here is that the machine is emulating human behavior. That's not true. It isn't copying a human player. It is learning through millions of cycles of trial and error its own winning strategies. What's interesting here is that it isn't about memorizing facts. It's about optimizing behavior over time. Some examples of this teaching style might be using it for training a robotic arm. So this brings us to today. Generative AI and LLMs are just massive deep learning models that are incredibly fluent. Because they're probabilistic, they can confidently lie to you. We call this hallucination. This is why you hear people in the tech space talking about RAG, which stands for Retrieval Augmented Generation. You can think of this like an open book test. It forces the model to look up facts in a trusted database before answering. And so it uses RAG rather than relying on its own internal memory. So the next time that someone tries to sell you an AI tool, don't just look at the hype. Ask about the fundamentals. I'm back having spent some time focusing on myself and learning about AI. I want to help you and your creativity, along with AI tools, create something wonderful. If you're ready to build, hit subscribe, because in the next few videos, we're going to be going through taking your creativity along with using AI tools to create something of a personal project. Don't worry if you're not technical, this video series will guide you through how to do it. I think that's the thing that I've always seen, is that people have creativity, they just need to have the chance to show it off. And so if you want to do that, follow along the journey, give a like and a subscribe. A heartfelt shout out to all my existing subscribers. You're the reason that I returned to do this. So to each and every one of you, thank you so much from the bottom of my heart. But for now, from wherever you are, thank you so much for watching. Have a nice rest of your day, and I'll see you in the next video.